The things about money that I'll share with you in here are the things that I've tried, the things that I'm going through, are the things that are coming out of, the process of human transformation, as well as the process of wealth building and actually understanding generational traumas and subconscious patterns that we have and things that happen in real life that affect us making money, that affect us creating wealth, that affect us how the money comes in and leaves, and the ceiling, the income ceilings that we have. And I will teach you all these things as I'm going through them and as I learn them from other people, because it's important to me that I stay honest with the journey that we're on. And I want to show you, obviously, how things work in real life as well as in theory, because theory is all good, but if you don't implement it, then it doesn't help anyone. I've manifested incredible amounts of money that came sort of through magic, if you like, sales that just happened, people gifting us things, we're finding things, winning things. Money is always circulated, but in a different way. Money always comes in like the easiest possible way, so the path of least resistance. So money, I found, came to me is normally through other people or through magic, because that's literally what I believed. But when I was creating money in the past, when I had my own business, the business really didn't feel aligned. I started the business because that was something very a wise thing to do. What I realized over time is that the business wasn't really aligned with me. And I put myself in this pattern that I've always been in, where working hard will bring you the money. So I worked really hard, but the money was also leaking out of my life repeatedly. It wasn't actually staying. And I used to make so much money every single month, and the money just wasn't staying with us. It was continuously coming out, and we just couldn't account for it where it was going. It was just disappearing. And that all was happening because of the subconscious pattern and the pattern of my generation that came from feast and famine, feast and famine. So there was never a steady income that stayed with us. So when I actually stopped working, I actually gave up the business that felt no longer aligned, because I couldn't force myself anymore to do the work that didn't feel aligned. But when I then started doing the things that felt aligned, I started being really worried about earning money, because what if somebody doesn't want to pay me? I then took it personally, feeling like I was doing something wrong because people didn't want to pay for my work. And also, I took it personally because I thought if they didn't like my work, then they don't like me. If they rejected my work, they rejected me. I had to really work hard on disconnecting my self-worth from my work and understanding that I am not my work. And that is such a key distinction, because especially when you're creating a business that is your sole purpose in this world, if you're creating a business that you don't really love and you don't really mind it falling apart or actually making money or not making money, it's not such a big difference because you don't treat it personally. But the moment you start creating business that is literally fed from your soul, then all of a sudden you find that you're really connecting the success of the business with your self-worth. So you maybe not be putting yourself out there so much, because you'll be worried that if people reject the work that you do, they essentially are rejecting you. You might find that you're not actually going all in because you're holding back, because if it fails, then at least you could explain to yourself that you didn't really try hard enough, or you didn't give it 100%. So you didn't technically fail because you never gave it your all. So you start to combine your self-worth with the work that you do. And the key thing is here, and that I had to do over the years, is that you separate yourself from your job, from the thing that you do. And even though this might be your biggest purpose in this world, you still are separate from it. You're not your purpose, and your purpose isn't you. Your purpose lives inside of you, and you want to bring that into the world, but you have to separate that from who you really are. So if for whatever reason you stepped away from your purpose, that does not impact who you really are. That doesn't impact the worth you bring into this world. That doesn't impact you, the core of who you are. And that is such a massive distinction. And I found that really helped me in building my business and in putting my offers out there and in creating content like this, because I understand that my purpose and the work that I'm here to do is completely separate from who I am. So when it comes to sharing vulnerable things, I understand that I can share that with all of you, and that is part of what I do, but that is not who I am. So for if for any reason I decide to ever step away from my purpose or shift or grow or pivot, it doesn't mean anything about me. It just means that I'm growing and transforming my body of work. But who I am doesn't change. I still have the integrity, I still have my experiences, I still have my wisdom and my knowledge and my inner worth. That doesn't change. Doesn't matter what I do, it does not change.